Hello everybody, welcome back to Filament. Coming back to a new day with fresh eyes. I did, however, see online, I did check, there are 300-ish puzzles in this game. And if each one of these stones has 5 of them in, that makes for, what, 300 divided by 3? 300 divided by 5 is 60, which seems like a lot to fit on this ship. Now, we spent a decent chunk of time with this puzzle previously, struggling with it. Let's see if fresh eyeballs have anything to say. So, this doesn't work because I can't go through the door. This is probably exactly what I did the last time I tried to be here. And I can't do this because I can't then squeeze around and go back up to the top. Which results in all of my problems that I experienced the last time I was here. Alright, I'm not going to stare at this again today. Let's go find some other puzzles. Because this ship is massive. And as I understand it, you can tackle the puzzles in almost any order, which is fun. So, puzzles in here? How about this one? Right, we've got gates on the ground again. We've seen these before. Now, I don't hit that piece there. Could I do this in some way starting on the higher side of the level? I don't think that helps me. How am I going to get tension onto this? Oh, that looks good. Then this is going to be very long-winded, but I think it's totally acceptable. Yes. Excellent. That is a lot of room to try and get tension on so many pieces. I can cut through the center there in some way or another. Oh, wait. That'll do it. This seems fiendishly simple. Now, mustn't neglect these pillars in the corners. So both of these central stones need to be touched in order to open that gate. Which is interesting. It's going to be kind of some amount of symmetry going on. It feels. May not be true, but it feels that way. Gonna bring this audio down a little bit more. So what can we do? I don't think I can cross over this. because I can't cross back over my own line. And this will never work because I won't be able to touch the top side to make the necessary connections. I think he's got it, you know. Goodness gracious. That is a giant paperclip in the corner. I guess that just gives you a sense of scale for how little we are. Right, this is going to look all lovely right up until the end, isn't it? Yeah, there's going to be lots of these kind of double pointed ones where you really have to cross over in the correct diagonal to make contact with it. Again, it's one of those where I wish I could kind of draw marks on the floor, because this one here needs me to kind of travel in that direction across it, I think. But how am I going to do that there and touch that one? Well, there is that, but I cannot cross over my starting point. So that very quickly eliminates that as an option. But this doesn't hit the first one, so if we change that to this, it's this one in the top left corner that causes me the most issue. That'll do it though. Good. Last one in this bunch. What I don't really have any kind of good understanding for is the difficulty curve of the game. Because obviously there are some panels that will directly go to the next series of puzzles directly after it. But as for all the towers of puzzles that are independent across the ship, how do I know where might present more of a challenge than others, you know? I can listen to this music track for days. It's so good. Great stuff.
So, Pluto, despite having been here all but a single orbit, you're already making far more sense of these anchors than I ever did. This kind of thing was never really my area of expertise. If it wasn't helping me pilot my ship, then I wanted nothing to do with it. Not the best attitude, I admit. To tell you the truth, I'm still not sure what these things do. They were meant to stop some spike on some graph that I'm told was important, with the minor side effect that literally all systems are no longer remotely accessible. Useful, right?
Well, if this isn't a lot of puzzle. Ah, man. How can I get this last one? Back on the overworld as she was talking, I think it's this set of puzzles and then the cable that they're attached to terminates, and so I think this kind of group of puzzles ends. It looks so simple, but there is no way to be on the right-hand side of this line that keeps tension with this last piece in the corner. That one, I need to approach from the left. Like, there are a lot of these instances where it's very clear when something must be done in one certain way, but there's no great tool for denoting that as I play. And then it becomes a memory game, which is not so much the thing I want to be focusing on, you know? Just that one at the bottom. Is there ever a world where we're going to kind of do a big spiral of sorts, where we go into itself and then out again? Or perhaps we can kind of go all the way back to that corner and start with that as our problem. But even then, that doesn't look great. I want to do this with it. But building stuff that far over does not seem as simple. Because now I have a similar problem here, whereas this I need to approach from the right-hand side. Otherwise, stuff isn't having contact made on it. I also wish I could walk during focus, but apparently you can't, which is an interesting choice, mechanically. Just so many specific edges that I need to be on here. Alright, so that room can continue to be a mystery. Let's try this room. Presumably, first stations will be easier than second stations. What are we looking at now? Some kind of color puzzle. Is it touch everything? Okay. I can't touch blue one. Okay, touch all the concurrent colored ones first? So I can do both my oranges, then both my blues. I understand that much. Why do you have pegs on your tops? So some of the cable is white and some of it is orange. That makes it orange. Okay, so this makes it orange. That keeps it orange. That stops it orange. So it's like a start and end point on the squares. Interesting. How are we going to do that? So I guess I didn't touch this blue one? Do they need touching? That's a great question. They do need touching. But I need to touch them in between the blue ones. Between the squared blue ones. Which is an interesting prospect. There's no way this works, right? Oh, it does. Lovely.
What's the first thing you noticed when you climbed aboard? I'll tell you what it is for me. The smell. I always imagined the smell on a ship like this to be, like, clinical, you know? But no. Like freshly cut grass. Something to do with the oxygen recycling, I'm told. Goes a long way to help you forget you're trapped in a metal box. If only for a second. The endless void out the windows brings you right back, though.
Yeah, from what I understand, the International Space Station does not smell good, and you're not really supposed to bring it up. It's just going to be noted that it smells bad, and it's the way it is. Right, perhaps we start pink instead then. That seems unlikely, doesn't it? I don't know that I can ever touch blue with this arrangement. At least not that blue one. I do like the disco floor though. I've got a lot of time for that. Again, I can't now touch this pink purple in any way. Oh, hold on. Hold the telephone. We got it. Gosh, how are we going to get those blues and oranges to go? There's an intriguing prospect. think with a great big loop around these two pins, we can finish the oranges. Yep. That's nice. Got a lot of time for that. Okay, the blues here are particularly confined, and we've got orange and green middle towers to touch as well. If I do this, I can't ever touch that blue. So that seems unlikely. Maybe if we start with the blue and then it's out of the way. Blue, is it purple? Either way. Now, can I do everything I need to do for orange with the route that's left? That's unhelpful. There's no other pin to tie that tension off on. Interesting that I can undo through my actions. I just can't make new ones. There's definitely nothing I can do with this. Alright, restart me then. Let's try something else. That is too acute an angle. We already decided if I do that, I can't make tension on the dark blue. I can't make tension on that dark blue either. Did I start with dark blue on my previous attempted solution? I feel like I did. Right, if that doesn't work, is this going to be any better? I suspect not. And my suspicions were right. We could come all the way back on ourselves. Ah, but I have to do that orange pillar in the middle of the two oranges with squares. What about green? Can I do green first? Have I just recreated the problem I had the first time? Because that's what I feel I've done. Just in maybe a slightly different arrangement. But either way, we get to that problem. It's not going to be that. I need to use this pin better, but I'm uncertain how. Where else could we start? We start here. Not for that we can't. This amounts to the same thing we've tried twice before, I believe. Still, that lower orange one being my problem. Damn it, lower orange one. Oh, hold on. No, because I can't. I can. No, wait. I want to take a mental picture of this because the thing I want to change is right at the very beginning, and I'm not sure I can. So rather than going around that pin there, I do this and this and this and that, and we go all the way around here now. I can go all the way back on myself to that pin. That's what I was hoping for. Okay. Green with a lot of intermediaries. Blue with one intermediary. A pair of reds, and interestingly, a single white pillar. A couple of extra pins here in the lower right corner. Do we ever start so simply as this? This feels excessive. Yeah, bifurcating things down the middle at the beginning might not be the best plan, but at the same time, how else are we going to get those two reds to join together? The only other way I think I could get those two reds to go together might be something like this, but that green then gets in the way, and I couldn't go to those greens to touch them even if I wanted to at that stage. If I do this, I can't ever use that blue one. I think the green is basically going to kind of create a map for the other colors to navigate around, because there's so much green. Can I touch this white one at any point? I cannot. So that's all the green. Then what? Red? Except that's going to touch that, so not red. So blue? then white, then red. He's only gone and done it. Nice bit of logic in that the green being so disparate on the board gives you your mental framework for how the rest of the pieces are going to go together. Whereas this looks deceptively simple, which is always a bit terrifying. That red one in the top right corner is attached to a wall that is anchored to the perimeter of the level. I say red, apparently it wants to be orange when actually illuminated, which is fine. Now I can't anchor to that in that manner, so that's no good. Where else to go? I don't think I can ever anchor against that orange in this manner. I need something else to give me tension or a route out, which I don't have. Again, I can see kind of these threads of solution where our trail needs to go. It's just stitching all of them together. And that ain't it. If I do that, I'm completely cutting off that pin in the top left corner, which I presume is very much needed for the solution. The other big kind of question is blue or red first? And again, this begins to look really promising. But then it comes to this top edge. And I've got no way to hold tension on that. And that first blue one can't go straight to the central pin because then it doesn't have tension on the blue one at the top left. That doesn't let me touch the orange one that I need in the middle. Come on, brain. You can do it. Probably not this, because how do I get this central orange piece? Where else can we go? I forced this one to be first because it's the most troublesome piece. Then take a really long way around all of this. That doesn't touch. Though that could work. Do I have hope? I can have hope. Right, so start with the most troublesome piece and work from there, apparently.
So, I've been eating emergency calorie paste for the duration of my time in this cockpit. Do you happen to know how many flavors of emergency calorie paste there are?
Probably one.
Two.
Two.
There are 2 flavors of emergency calorie paste. Initially, I figured that eating a different flavor each day was a good plan, but retrospectively, this is not the case. I now hate both equally. One of these allegedly tastes like mangoes, whatever those are. Bet you can't guess what the other is, though.
Kiwi?
I'll give you a hint.
Mint?
It spoils when it knows it's being eaten.
Man, there's all kinds of extra collectibles on the ground around here. But that is a good spot to stop for the day. There is a third section to this trail. So we may well try that, or we may well go off somewhere else next. For now, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please do consider subscribing or hitting that like button. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.